Hi YouTube, it's Carrie, Lady BSG, here with my week 29 post-op update. Today is Monday, October 26th, 2015. I had my VSG surgery on April 6th, 2015 down in Tijuana, Mexico with Dr. Ariel Ortiz at the Obesity Control Center. I am 5'7". When I booked the surgery, I weighed 301.8 pounds. The day of surgery, I weighed 272. And today I weighed in at, oh no, I closed it, 192.0. So a total loss, or a loss of 4.4 pounds from the last week, and a total loss of 109.8 pounds. So I'm very excited about that. So it was kind of a big loss for me this week, and honestly, I think it was just getting back home and getting back into, being pretty strict about what I'm going to eat, what I'm not going to eat, eating really high protein, trying to eat low carb, avoiding processed foods. And I say that, but I still drink, I still have my Isopure ready to drinks, in the fridge, and I still have Quest bars. And typically, especially if I'm going to work, I always take an Isopure with me to work. One, because it's fluids, and I'm, depending on the shift, like sometimes I'm terrible about getting my fluids in, and I find that I seem to either do really well with getting my fluids in but not eating, or I will make sure that I take something to eat, so that I'm getting regular nutrition every couple of hours throughout the shift. But then I don't do very well with getting my fluids in, and part of that is because I'm still really trying to wait after I eat, wait 30 minutes before I drink anything. That was what my surgeon recommended. I don't recall him telling me if that was going to be a lifetime thing or if it was just, in sort of the healing phase. So I should probably email him and ask. But I still do that. And physically, and I'm sure part of it's because that's just what I've done for the last 6 months, but it's more comfortable for me. So I still do that. So anyway, if I take the Isopures, it's protein and fluid. And so I feel like I do better getting both of them in, since it's sort of a combination thing. What else? So so in terms of processed foods, like I still eat those. It's not like I've given them up. But the rest of the time, I did, let's see. Okay, so the couple of things that I did slightly differently this week. My sister had been watching my cat while I was gone, and she bought me some groceries for when I got back. So she got me, a carton of eggs, and she got me a pack of breakfast sausages to try, because they were bacon flavored breakfast sausages, which, whatever, they were delicious. I mean, why lie? But it's one of those ridiculous products that you're like, oh, really, this exists? And then, of course, my sister and I are like, well, we have to try it. I was worried, though. Breakfast is one of my favorite meals to eat. It's my least favorite meal to prepare, because when I first wake up, it's like, I just want there to be food. I don't want to have to cook it. It's why I do a lot better with protein shakes for breakfast, like the Premier Proteins, because I can just grab one and start drinking it, So what I did this week was I wanted to eat these sausages, which obviously you can't eat them raw. You could, you should not. So I just cooked up the whole package at once and put them in a Tupperware. And so every morning I had 2 sausages ready to go. And I have an egg cooker because my dad's a big believer in egg cookers. And if you get married and you invite my dad to the wedding, you are either going to get an egg cooker or an air popcorn maker thing. So, like, those are your 2 options if you ever meet my dad and decide to like him enough to invite him to your wedding. Just FYI. Anyway, so I have an egg cooker because I grew up with an egg cooker, and when I moved into my first apartment, I was like, man, it's pretty convenient. I don't have to boil water. It's exhausting. So I have an egg cooker. So I would boil, I made a bunch of hard-boiled eggs. I cooked all the sausage all at once, so I had breakfast foods sort of ready to go. And I found, 1 egg, and even I could do 1 egg and 1 sausage, or I could do, I could even get by on just 1 egg. It's pretty satisfying for me. Um, so, but of course, like I'm still wrapping my brain around that aspect of it. I'm like, one egg, that I need a bigger breakfast, and then I'll have one egg and two sausages. And it's like I can't finish everything, and then just looking at it, like I'm so full and uncomfortable, I just throw it away. But anyway, so I have all the sausage cooked in my fridge. I've got eggs cooked in my fridge. And so I have these things available not just for breakfast, but like throughout the day when it's like, oh, I need to eat something. I want to eat something high protein. I've already got some high protein stuff like cooked and ready to go. And so that way, like if I had two sausages for breakfast, then later on I would have a hard boiled egg, or vice versa. And that helped me a lot this week. Like I ate breakfast every day this week, and it was because I could just pull it out of the fridge. And most days I was too lazy to even put it in the microwave to heat it up. It was just like, oh, sweet food. Like I'll eat this cold. That's something else I've noticed just from having the surgery, because it takes me so long to eat. I don't really have any strong feelings about what temperature my food is lately, because it takes me so long that my food is going to cool down. I mean, that's just the way of it. So, I'm gonna eat cold sausage because it's, even if the first couple bites are warm, by the time I finish it, it's gonna be cold anyway. So who cares? So I did that. That was really helpful for me this week. And then the weather finally turned, which I'm very excited about. And I've been making a bunch of soups in my Vitamix. I say a bunch. I think I've made 3, because like it makes a Vitamix full of soup, and then I portion it out into my little Tupperwares, and it takes me, if I eat it twice a day, like it'll last me 2-3 days. So this week I made the beef stroganoff soup. So I went to Safeway and I found a pack, like those packs of, it's like meat. It was in the meat aisle, but it was with the stuff that's like pre-cooked, like the hams and the chicken strips that are already cooked in their package, like the Tyson chicken strips and stuff. So this was a thing of beef tips, and you just put it in the microwave for like 4 minutes or something. It's got like a sealed, it looks like a TV dinner kind of thing, and it puffs up and cooks, and then, anyway. So I bought that, so I did that, and then in the Vitamix I did beef broth and mushrooms, and I threw in a little bit of jalapeno just for some spice. And I think I put in, the pack of mushrooms I bought, it was over in it was in the salad area, but it was the stuff that was already chopped and prepped for you. And so it was sliced mushrooms and leeks. So there were some leeks in there too. Put that in the Vitamix, blended it all together. And then once, because you blend it on high for like 6 minutes and the steam starts coming out, and then you turn it down to like 3 or 4, because I have the one that has the dial that goes from 0 to 10 and then the high-low switch. So you turn it back down to low, turn it down to like 3 or 4, and that's when I added the beef. And then I also added in some Greek yogurt because like beef stroganoff typically has sour cream in it, and I didn't have sour cream. I have Greek yogurt in the fridge, so that's what I put in there. So give it sort of that creaminess. That was really good. I really liked it. I liked the addition of the jalapenos because it gives it a nice kick. If you're not a spicy person, like maybe that wouldn't be for you. And then yesterday I had finished the beef stroganoff soup. So after work, I really wanted split pea and ham soup. And I mean, a lot of them, like the soups are so carby, and they're also, like the sodium content can be really high. And I found that just, like, mentally I feel better if I'm preparing my own food. Plus, doing it in the Vitamix is super easy. So that one I just did chicken broth, and I couldn't find frozen peas, like just the regular frozen peas. Everything was like steam in a bag peas, which I probably could have used. It would have been fine, but they're slightly more expensive. So the package I got was peas and carrots. But it was still only like 10 carbs per serving, so I figured, that's okay. So the chicken broth and the peas and carrots. Oh, and I did some chopped onion in there. Blended that for, the 6 minutes. And then I bought one of those, like little tiny Black Forest hams, and chopped a couple slices of that up, cubed it, and then threw that in at the last minute. So it's like the ham isn't totally pureed into the soup. It's still a little chunky. And so that turned out pretty well. I like it. It's not a traditional pea soup because of the carrots and the onion and stuff, but I liked it. It tastes good. I'm happy with it. So I'm very happy with soup weather. And with these soups, like one of the reasons I'm adding, like adding the beef tips or adding the ham is just that it does have that additional protein to help be more filling. But so that's basically what I've been doing for lunch or dinner, and sometimes both. I am tracking everything in MyFitnessPal. I put the recipes in there too, so that like it is what I cooked, like what I put in there, so the recipes are accurate, the calorie counts are accurate, the nutritional stuff is accurate, and I'm hitting my protein goals. 80 to 100 grams of protein a day. My carb, like theoretically, I'm supposed to be keeping my carbs under, I think, 20 or 30 grams a day. For the most part, I've been doing that pretty well. But yeah, so everything seems to be going pretty well. I'm feeling, I was starting to worry while I was in Disney World that, just started to worry that I stretched out my sleeve because it felt like I could just eat and eat and eat. But honestly, being back at home this week, I am feeling the restriction, and I think probably what was just going on was I was eating so many carbs, and the carbs just sort of slide on through that I didn't feel the restriction. And, now that I'm back to really focusing on protein, I am feeling the restriction. I am feeling like I didn't just, I was worried that I had sabotaged my whole surgery and all of this stuff. Because of course, those are the sorts of things that my internal monologue, my jerk brain tells me, you've ruined it, all this. But I didn't. Everything's working just fine. So yeah, so that's sort of where I'm at this week. Obviously getting all my steps in is helpful towards, maintaining my weight loss and everything. So, still fighting the cold, not really excited about that. Drinking lots of tea, which, bright side is I'm getting all my fluids in because I like tea when I have a cold, and so I've been drinking a ridiculous amount of it. But, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I hope you all are doing great, and I will check in with you again next week. Bye.